Hello students, in today's class we will be studying about database management, and this is our unit number 3 and you will have 20 marks from here. Okay. So this unit which is database management, it comes after our binary files, but this has nothing to do with our Python programming or the different types of files. This has got nothing to do with those. We are going to learn entirely new things here. Okay. So this database management is divided into two, which is RDBMS and MySQL. RDBMS and MySQL. Now, what is RDBMS? RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. Relational Database Management System. For 1 mark or maybe for 1 mark you will get 2 questions, or for 2 marks you will get 4 questions, half each, to give the full forms. So RDBMS can be asked in them. Okay, so you must know the full form of all these. CSV files, full form, RDBMS, DBMS, lots of full forms will be covered here. So you must know the full forms as well. So RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. Now here in RDBMS we saw database, right? What is a database? A database is an organized collection of data. An organized collection of data is called as a database. Okay, database is really important. In this topic you will hear this term frequently. Now DBMS. What is DBMS? Without relational database management system. What is a database management system? Database management system is a software which is used to manage all the databases. A software used to you can form a sentence from the word given here, DBMS, Database Management System. Database Management System, it is a software which is used to manage databases. Alright. Now, why do we need this? What are the benefits, or what are the advantages, or what are the uses? You can get this for 2 marks. Alright, so what are the benefits? First benefit number 1 is that redundancy can be reduced. Redundancy can be reduced. What do you mean by redundancy? Redundancy can be reduced means that the duplication of data is not possible here. So that we cannot plagiarize, we cannot duplicate. So redundancy can be reduced by using DBMS. Then certain standards can be enforced. Okay. Then the data can be shared, inconsistency can be avoided, and security restrictions can be applied. Firewall, we can use several security restrictions can be applied. Alright. So these 5 points are important. Redundancy can be reduced, standards can be enforced, data can be shared, inconsistency can be avoided, and security restrictions can be applied. Or else in place of redundancy you can write duplication of data is not possible, or duplication of data can be reduced. You can write it in your own words. Okay, so just make sure standards can be enforced, such keywords should be there. Okay, data can be shared, inconsistency can be avoided, security restrictions can be applied, then duplication of data will be reduced. So such keywords just keep in mind. So we saw what DBMS is, Database Management System. Now when it comes to relational database, what effect does what change will it make when we add the word relational along with DBMS? Relational database is a database in which the data is stored in the form of relations. Relations, whenever we will come across the word relations. Relations is not that relation and functions in your class 12 maths, alright. Relations is nothing here but the tables. Relations means tables. Okay, we will have several terms that look complicated, but they mean simple, alright. So, a database in which the data is stored in the form of relations or tables is called a relational database. In relational database, the data will be stored in the form of tables, that's all. Okay, that is what relational database is. Now, so RDBMS, this is a proper definition of RDBMS. RDBMS is a DBMS. RDBMS is a database management system which is used to manage relational databases. Okay. We saw the definition for DBMS before. DBMS was database management system. It is a software that is used to manage all the databases. So, RDBMS, when RDBMS came, we have an extra letter R. So, here we should add the word relational along with the previous definition. A database management system that is used to manage not just databases, but relational databases. Okay. This is used to manage relational databases. Here it was used to a software used to just manage database. When R came, just add the word relational. Now, some popular RDBMS softwares available are Oracle, MySQL, Sybase, Ingress, Postgres, etc. And here in this we will only be looking a little bit about RDBMS, that is we will have to know the basic terminologies and all in RDBMS, and after that completely you will be moving into an RDBMS software. Okay, we will be learning completely about an RDBMS software here. So, here they have given some popular RDBMS softwares available are Oracle, MySQL, Sybase, and all these. Hereafter we will be looking completely about MySQL. Okay. We will be looking on only about MySQL. So, in order to learn more about MySQL, many different terminologies will come in MySQL, but we will understand those terminologies because only if we understand these are the terminologies which will come handy in MySQL. What is a relation table, entity, attributes, primary key, tuple, cardinality degree, all these I will explain, alright. Let me take some other color, let us go for blue. Okay. Relation or a table. I said that I told before that relation, another relation is nothing but a table, right. So, a relation or table is a 2-dimensional representation of data arranged in the form of rows and columns. Okay, a table is what? See, this is what a table is, right. A table has rows and it will also have columns. That is what is given here. A table is a 2-dimensional representation of data that is arranged in the form of rows and columns, and here we will have some data. Okay, and that data is arranged how? In the form of rows and in the form of columns. Okay, that is the first one, terminology. Second one is entity. An entity is something that exists and about which we can store some information. Example is student, hospital, school, etc. An entity is something that exists, that is something that is real, something that is existing, and and about that we will have some information, we will be able to store some information. So, for example, if I take student, under student I can store student name, student roll number, student GR number, student marks, right, remarks, everything I can store. So, we under the entity here, the entity is student, and under that I can store some information, as I said before, right, roll number, CPR number, GR number, all those numbers. So, that is what a entity is. If I take school, there are different schools have their school name, school number, school location. So, I can store some information. So, anything that is existing and about which we can store some information is an entity. This is an example: student, hospital, school, etc. Third one, okay, there are few important ones: attribute, tuple, key, primary key, candidate key, alternate degree. These are quite important. 3 to 10 is very important. This questions will come. I will show you how questions will be asked. Okay, 3 to 10, their definitions are also super important. Okay, learn their definitions. Attribute is used to represent a column name. The term attribute is used to represent a column name. In a table, an attribute is a set of values of a particular type. The term attribute is used to represent the column name. See, serial number, name, school. Okay, so the term attribute is used to represent a column name. So, serial number is used to represent the name of a column. Here 1, 2, 3, this is the serial number, this is my data. So, this data comes under serial number, and serial number here is the attribute because it is used to represent the column name. And in a table, an attribute is a set of values of a particular type. So, the column name is represented using the term attribute, whereas when it comes to rows, okay, when it comes to rows, each of the row in a table is known as a tuple. It is called as a record. It is also called as a record. So, tuple or a record are the row names. Each row in a table is known as a tuple or a record. Each column is known as attribute. Okay. Now, primary key, the group of one or more columns used to uniquely identify each record in a relation. The group of one or more columns used to uniquely identify each record in a relation is the primary key. Candidate key is a column or group of columns which can be used as the primary key of a relation. Candidate key can be used as a primary key in a table. Why? Why is it called as a candidate key? It is called as a candidate key because it is one of the candidates available to be the primary key of the relation. I know that when you read the sentence, you will be blank, you will not understand. When we do questions, you will come to know the difference between primary, candidate, alternate keys, and there is also one more key that will come up. Okay, it's not included in these 10, but that will come up in the future, which is known as a foreign key. Foreign. primary key, candidate key, foreign key, alternate key, foreign key. So, primary key is a group of one or more columns that are used to uniquely identify each of the record in each of the row. Record means row or a tuple in a relation. Candidate key is a group of column or columns that can be used as the primary key. And why is it called as a candidate key? It is called as a candidate key because it is one of the candidates that is available to be the primary key of the relation. Now, alternate key is a candidate key of a table which is not made as its primary key. A candidate key of a table which is not made as its primary key is called its alternate key. Degree is a number of attributes or the columns in a table. The number of attributes or columns in a table is known as a degree. Cardinality is number of records in a table. So, let me tell you one simple, let me give you a simple way to remember. Where is my pen? Okay. 1 second. Yeah. So, here they have told cardinality is a number of records. Cardinality is what? Records. Records also known as tuple. What is tuple? The number of rows. Now, on the other hand, we have degree is the number of attributes or columns. So, degree, attribute, column. Okay, note this somewhere, this is very important, you will keep forgetting, you will get confused, you will be confused. Okay, so keep this table in mind. Cardinality / record / tuple, all these stands for rows. Degree and degree or attribute means column. If they ask what is the cardinality of the table, that means the number of records. That number of records means you must count how many rows are there. What is the degree means how many columns are there in the table, how many attributes are there in the table. So, only if you know, they can ask in any way. So, you must know these all are synonyms of each other. Synonyms of rows, they are cardinality, records, tuple. Columns, attribute and degree. Now, it is officially time for us to move to the let's get into the bigger scene, which is SQL, MySQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. Structured Query Language. So, only get into SQL after knowing all the basic terminologies. Okay. Now, what is MySQL? MySQL is an open source RDBMS software. It is available free of cost. Okay, it is an open source RDBMS software and it is available free of cost. All of us can install it in our labs and PCs and desktops. So, that is what MySQL is. This is just an open source RDBMS software. Now, what all are the data types available in MySQL? Okay, so this is something that you must keep in mind. You will need this is really important. Class and data type. class I've just given, it's just given in order to, just to give a name, I've given it under class. Okay, that isn't, you can just ignore this. Okay, text. Text means like free of cost is a text, data types is a text. Okay, so that is what text is. The data type of words will be varchar and char. Char and varchar. I've given char of size. Size means 6 or 4. You can give in your size there. Varchar is variable character that will vary. If I say varchar of 10, okay, suppose char of 6, and this I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 source. Okay, so source is my character. If I want to write source, then I can say source char of 6. Now if I write varchar of 10, varchar of 10 means this is our word, source is our word, and source is having 6 letters. If I give varchar of 10, it will only choose 6 gaps. Whereas if I give char of 10 means after writing these 6 words, 4 blanks will be there. We use varchar in order to save, we use varchar in order to save space. Okay. If we use char of 10 means, if we use char of 10 and the word here is only having 6 letters, then it after occupying the 6 gaps, 4 gaps will be empty. It is a loss of space, right? Why do we have to simply waste? So for that we use varchar. Varchar means variable character. If we give varchar of 100 and a word is only having 2 letters, only 2 spaces will be taken. The rest of the spaces will be avoided. Whereas if we write char of 100 and a word is only two letters, then what happens? After the 2 letters, then there will be space. Space will be wasted. Okay, that is the difference. Char of size and varchar of size. Varchar means variable. Alright. Now, next is numeric. For numbers, the data type we have is decimal, int and integer. Decimal, int and integer. I'll explain each of these when we do questions. Now for date, when we have a date to be written, the data type that must be used is date. And another okay, I'll tell it in the coming slides. Now these, in SQL we have several statements, and these are the classification of the SQL statements. SQL statements are into 4 types. DDL, which is data definition language. This is really important. You must know the full form. For Viva, this can be asked. DDL stands for data definition language. DML, data manipulation language. DCL, data control language. TCL, transaction control language. Though we don't have DCL and TCL in our syllabus, for Viva this can be asked. The full forms can be asked. So make sure you learn the full forms. DDL is data definition language, DML data manipulation language, DCL is data control language, TCL is transaction control language. We'll only be learning DDL and DML. Now this is really important. Just the way we looked before the benefits of using a DBMS, in the same way advantages or benefits of SQL. SQL is easy to use and there is no coding required, code free, and it is portable, It is not a case sensitive, like in Python. Python is case sensitive. This true and this true were different in Python, but here, as in Python, this is not the case here. In SQL, SQL is not a case sensitive language. Before I showed the data types, okay, char and varchar. So in SQL, char can be written as like this, any way you can write it, it doesn't matter, okay. It's because it is case sensitive, any way, capital, sorry for that. Capital or small, it doesn't matter, okay. It is not case sensitive language. SQL can be linked to most of the high level languages. Large volume of databases can be handled quite easily. Very big volumes, large volumes of databases can be handled quite easily. So these points should come directly to your mind. SQL is not case sensitive. There is no coding required, because these two you'll be using it. So if anyone, when you're sleeping, if someone comes and asks you what are the advantages of SQL, these two you must remember 100%. Okay, no coding is required and SQL is not a case sensitive language. Rest, learn it. So here we saw first one was DDL commands. DDL, okay, data definition language. The SQL statements which are used to create, destroy or restructure databases and tables come under DDL commands. The SQL statements which are used to create, destroy or restructure databases and tables. These are the DDL commands: create, alter, okay. Create, alter, drop, use, show. These are the different DDL commands: create, alter, drop, use, show. Under create, there is create database and create table. Create database and create table. Okay, these two are coming under the create command. Under alter command, we have add, modify, drop and change. Under alter command, we are having add, modify, drop and change. In drop, here we have created databases, we have created the table. Now what does drop do? Drop will drop the database, drop table. Either drop the, if we say drop database, it will drop the database. Drop table, then table will be dropped. I'll explain each of it, okay. Use, what is use? I'll explain. Show is to show the databases, show the tables. You must learn all of these. Questions can come in any way, and this is very simple. RDBMS plus SQL, you will get 30 marks paka. Okay, it's very simple. Just put your mind into it and do several questions. 30 marks out of 70 will come directly from MySQL and RDBMS. Okay, so these are the DDL commands. The further explanation of create database, create table, what does add, modify, drop, change, and all of these two, I will put another video. I think it is time to stop here. If we do everything all of a sudden, nothing will go into your mind. Okay, so make sure you learn till here really well. Okay, every single thing, it's very important. Learn all of these, and the what all are the commands, what are DDL commands. This is very important as a search and reason, or as a true or false question you will get. the SQL statements which are used to create, destroy or restructure databases. DDL is create, destroy and restructure. When it comes to DML, it is something which is similar, so you will make a mistake, you will get confused. Okay, so be crystal clear with each of these, or else there are many things that you will find similar. So this is all for today. Learn all of this, it's very, very important. Be curious like this cat here. So this is all about database management, RDBS and MySQL. I will continue from here in the next class. Till then, learn everything and then stay tuned. Bye bye.